Hello students, good morning all of you. Once again a warm welcome to the Computer Networks online session. Today video number 17, which also belongs to the unit number 3. From the past four videos onwards, we are discussing unit number 3. Before going to start the session, just we recall what we covered in the past sessions. So is the data link layer. Unit number 3 is the data link layer. The syllabus belongs to the data link layer. So in the past previous videos, we covered introduction part of data link layer on services provided to the network layer, what is framing, so how the framing will be done, so what is meant by error control and flow control. So these are the topics we covered in the past four videos. So data link layer is placed in between the physical layer and network layer. So what are the major services provided by the data link layer is error control, flow control, framing, service provided to the network layer. These four are the major design issues of data link layer. So service provided to the network layer, framing, error control and flow control. So how it provides different services to the network layer, that what we have to be discussed in the video number 1. Later on in the video number 2 we discussed about how the framing is done by the data link layer. There we discussed about the uh, bit stuffing, character stuffing, some important concept we have to be discussed there in the video number 2. There in the video number 3 also we successfully completed the framing concept. Uh, Next in the video number 4 we covered these error control and flow control concepts in the video number 4. So this is the video number 17. That means video number 5 in the unit number 3. So in this video we will discuss error correction and detection codes. So these are all the topics we covered in the past videos. How the framing is done, error control, so how the errors are controlled. Just we recall what happened there in the previous class. So it provide how it has provided services to the network layer. So data link layer provides so many services to the network layer, but the three common services it provides to the network layer is, these are the three common services, commonly provided services: unacknowledged connectionless service, acknowledged connectionless service, acknowledged connection oriented service. That is the first design issue. Second one is framing. So how a frame is constructed. So frame is constructed with a header, footer along with original data. So frame consisting of frame size. The initial number represents the frame size of that particular frame. So the frame is formed by using byte stuffing, bit stuffing, and character stuffings. There in character stuffings, we have to be inserted multiple characters. These DLE, STX, and DLE, ETX. STX stands for start of text, and ETX stands for end of text. These are the characters we have to be using. After the stuffing, if multiple DLEs are there, we consider as one DLE in the receiver end. So in the sender end, adding some additional bits. DLE means data link space. So data link space is added to the frame at the receiver end. At the receiver end, if multiple DLEs are there, it considered as one DLE. Same in the bit stuffing also. At the sender side, five continuous ones are there. Immediately zero is placed at the sender side. That is called bit stuffed bit. So if continuous 5 ones are there, 0 is stuffed after continuous 5 ones. So later on it moves to the receiver side. There the data link layer at the receiver end removes that 0 after 5 ones. So sender side data link layer added 0 after 5 ones, that is the stuffed bit. That particular stuffed bit is removed after at the destination side. That is bit stuffing in the framing concept. And next we discussed about the error control, how it controls the errors. If frame is delivered to the destination or not, how it identifies. For that purpose, we discussed in the past video about the acknowledgement, timer, and sequence. So there is the acknowledgement. So it if sender sends a data frame, it waits for the acknowledgement or negative acknowledgement. So if it is the acknowledgement, that means frame is successfully delivered. So if it is the negative acknowledgement, that means frame is not successfully delivered to the destination area. So it immediately resends the frames. It immediately resends the frame, that is acknowledgement. But there some disadvantages there in the acknowledgement concept. That is, if in between acknowledgement and negative acknowledgement are destroyed, or in between any drawback, any problems are occurred, so that is the drawback of acknowledgement scheme. For that purpose, we are implemented a timer technique. Here we are fixed some certain amount of time. If it doesn't receive the acknowledgement or negative acknowledgement in that particular time, it sends, when it reaches to the zero timer zero, automatically it sends data frame again. It resets again the data frame. And finally, the sequence numbers. It allocating on sequencing numbers to the data frames. If any frame is missed in between, after reaching to the destination address, so which frame is missed identified depending upon the sequence number, informed to the sender. Sender again resets that particular frame. These are the three error control methods: acknowledgement, timers, and sequence numbers. The next one is the flow control. Flow control means if sender sends quickly and receiver doesn't accept in that quicker manner. Otherwise, the receiver wants to access data quickly, but the sender doesn't send in that speed. So these are some drawbacks and disadvantages there in the data transmission. So here the data link layer, the major advantage is the flow control. So how it controls the flow is, there are two approaches. Two approaches are there. By depending upon that two approaches, it controls the flow. So feedback based flow control and the rate based flow control. So it receives the feedback from the sender. Depending upon that, the flow is maintained. The second one is the some fixed rate is fixed at the sender side. Automatically, depending upon that particular rate, only sender sends the data frames. There are two approaches in the flow control. So these are the topics what we have to be completed in the past videos. Now we are moving to the error correction and detection techniques. After how we have to be identify the errors and how we have to be detect that particular errors. So how we have to be detect the errors is, we are sending some duplicate data, that means some redundancy data we have to be transmitted along with the original data to identify the errors. So that what we have to be discussed in the past video. So how many types of errors are there? There are basically two types of errors are there. One is a single bit error, second one is a burst error. So single bit error means if one bit is errored. So for example, we are sending 1 but it reaches 0. For example, we are sending 0, it reaches 1. That means that is a single bit error. Burst error means more than 2 bits are changed from 0 to 1 and 1 to 0. That is called the burst error. These are the different types of error: single bit error and the burst error. So error detection versus error correction. How it has to be: in sender side, we are encode the data and sends. For that purpose, a generator we have to be using, and in receiver side, a checker we have to be using. So generator is using to add additional bits. So why we have to add additional bits? For that what we have to be discussed in the bit and character stuffing in the data link layer. So in the framing concept. So additional characters and additional bits are adding to the original frames for some for some security reasons, that is checked by the checker at the receiver end. So generator is at the sender side and checker at the receiver side. So here the encoder is works, and here the decoder works in the receiver side. So there are two types of attacks against errors: so error detecting and error correcting codes. So how we have to be detect the errors is depending upon the acknowledges retransmission. So if acknowledgements are not came back, that means it is an error. So how we have to correct the errors? We are expecting acknowledgements. If acknowledgements are back from the receiver side, that means it is good. If acknowledgement is not came back to the sender side, that means there is an error in the data transmission. We feel that there is error in the data transmission. We means here data link layer. Data link layer feels there is an error in the in between data transmission, and how it corrects the errors is it corrects the errors by again resending that particular frame to the receiver. So how it have to be identify the errors is, it identify the errors if there is a no backing of acknowledgements. If acknowledgements are not came back to the sender, it feels there is an error. If acknowledgements are back, that means it's a good and excellent data delivery mechanism is working on there. If acknowledgements are not coming back to the sender from the receiver, it feels in between there is an error will be occurred, and it's again resends that particular data frame. That what we have to be discussing in the previous concept. It has to be again resends that particular data frame. Those are the error correction codes. Identifying error is the detecting codes. So after identifying the error, again it has to be correct that particular code, and that means resending the frame is called it as a error correction code. So error detecting. There are so many methods are there in the error detection. That is error detecting mechanism. These are the different error detecting methods. So how we have to be detect the errors for that purpose? VRC, LRC, CRC, and checksum. So cyclic redundancy check, and as well as uh, vertical redundancy check and longitude redundancy check. So cyclic redundancy check, longitude redundancy check, and vertical redundancy check, and finally checksum. These are the four methods we are used to detect the errors. So error detecting methods are there are four types: vertical redundancy check, redundancy check. Identify. Redundancy check means we are sending some duplicate bits along with the original bits to identifying the errors. So redundancy check. So how we have to be transmitting? There are four methods we are using for identifying the errors: vertical redundancy check, longitude redundancy check, cyclic redundancy check, and fourth one is the checksum. Very important one, checksum. These four are the techniques we have to be using for the error detection method. So this one, first one, vertical redundancy check. What happened there in the vertical redundancy? What happened here is a single bit at the end of data block such that number of ones is even. Number of ones is a single bit at the end of data block such that the number of ones is even. So even parity or odd parity. So depending upon the even parity and the odd parity, I think you guys covered this even and odd parities there in your computer organization subject. If number of ones are there, even that is called even parity. If number of ones are there in odd, that is called odd parity. For example, if you observe this 0, double 1, double 0, double 1, there four ones are there. So this is the even parity. So this is even parity. So here they are adding 0. Already it is a even parity. So they are adding 0. So for observe this 0, double 1, triple 0, 1. 0, double 1, triple 0, 1. Here three ones. Odd, the number of ones are odd. Number of ones are odd. So they are adding additional 1. Additional 1 to that particular uh, number. So it become four ones. So even parity. So append a single bit at the end of data. Append means add. You have to add one bit. It may be a 0 or it may be a 1. Append a single bit at the end of data block such that the number of 1 is even. The number of 1 is even. So if we have to be adding 0 to the end, if we have to add 0 to the end, when we have to add 0 to the end, already it is a even parity, we have to add 0 to the end. When we have to add 1, so it is an odd parity, so we have to add 1. That's what they say. So at the end of data block such that the number of 1 is even. So vertical redundancy check is also known as parity checker. This is also known as a parity check. Vertical redundancy check is also known as parity checker. It detects all odd number errors in the data block. It detects all odd number errors in the data block. So for example, this is the data double 1, double 0, double 0, 1. This is the original data. So even parity generator, a parity generator already we discussed here. Here a generator is placing. So a parity generator we are placing here. That particular parity generator generates 1. Why it generates 1? Already it is the odd parity. That's why it generates 1 like this. So if it is already it is an even parity, it generates 0. So here the generator, parity generator will generate 1 for the particular data. Here the data is double 1, double 0, double 0, 1. So there are three ones are there. If three ones means it is an odd parity. For that purpose here, the parity generator generates the bit that is called 1. So 1 is added to the original data and sends it to the receiver end and sends it to the receiver end. So I think you guys understand what happened there in VRC, that is parity check. So vertical redundancy check. So in vertical redundancy check, a bit is added, a bit is generated by the generator. So which bit is generated? If already the data is consisting of even number of ones, it generates 0. So otherwise, it contains number of ones. Number of ones are the odd number, so it generates 1 by the generator to become it as a even parity. Is the checking functional is total number of ones are even. So total number of ones is even or not. So that is the parity checker or vertical redundancy check technique. So it detects all odd number errors, So this is the example for vertical redundancy check. The problem with parity is that it can only detect odd numbers. So there is some drawback of vertical redundancy that it can only detect odd numbers. If bit substitution errors, that is 1 bit, 3 bit, 5 bit errors. If there are 2, 4, 6 bit errors, bits with the transmission in error using VRC will not be able to detect the errors. So the advantage of VRC is generating the bit. But the disadvantage is it only detects the errors when the errors are generated at the odd number. So if the error in the frame, error is occurred in 1, it identifies. Error is occurred at the third bit, it identifies. Error is occurred at the fifth bit, it identifies. But it doesn't identify when the error is occurred at the even numbers, the even frame numbers. So that is the main disadvantage of this vertical redundancy check. So the best example for this vertical redundancy check is given here. Using vertical redundancy check will not be able to detect the errors of even numbers. So multiple bit errors are even parity. Multiple bit errors are the even parity. So this is the even parity. So transmitted data letter A. So already multiple ones are placed here. This is the parity bit adding. So parity bit is adding. So already it is a even parity. So here the adding parity bit is the 0. So already it is a even parity. Why? Because here the number of ones are 2. Here the number of ones are 2. Here we are using number of ones are 2. So whatever the data we have to be transmitting is this is the original data. In this original data, number of ones are 2. So already it is a even parity. For that purpose, we have to be adding just only 0. The generator generates 0. The generator generates 0 to the original data. The generator generates. Okay, right? Yeah, this is the best example what we have to be discussed. Okay, here in this example, the data what we have to be transmitted is 1000001. 1000001 is the data. Something error is occurred here. Right. Wait for a second, please. Okay. Yeah, right. So this is the example. So what the data we have to be transmitted is 1000001. So this is the data we have to transmit from the sender to the receiver side. So actually it is a even parity. Actually it consisting of already number of ones is 2. So it already consisting of 2 number of ones. So for that purpose it's already a even parity. So the parity generator generates 0 for this data. So 0 is adding to the original data. So now already it is a even parity. So in this example, so the data what we have to be transmitted is 1000101. So this is the odd parity. So here the number of ones are 3. So count this 1, 2, 3. Here the number of ones are 3. For that purpose, so this is the altered bit. So already number of here the number of ones are 3. Already number of ones are 3. So this is the odd parity. For that purpose, as of VRC rule, as of VRC vertical redundancy check rule, the generator generates 1 and adding that particular 1 to the original data. Now it becomes the even parity. Now the odd parity becomes even parity by adding 1 to the original data. So the data what we have to be received here is 1000101. So that is the original data what we have to be received. So here the additional one is adding to the original data, then it becomes the even parity. That is the VRC. So the advantage of VRC is it identifies the odd parity bits, odd parity errors easily, but the disadvantage is it doesn't identify the errors of even numbers, even frame numbers. That is the disadvantage. The next one is longitudinal redundancy check, LRC. Longitudinal redundancy check seek to overcome the weakness simple bit oriented one directional parity checking. It overcome the some of the drawbacks occurring in the past checking method. So what are the past checking methods? What are the errors there in the past checking methods? Those are overcome by this longitudinal redundancy check, LRC. So LRC adds a new character instead of bit called the block check character BCC to each block of data. It's determined like parity but counted longitudinally through the message. It also vertically but longitudinally counts. So total number is counted here. It has better performance over VRC as it detects 98% of burst, 98% of burst errors. So the previously what we discussed the vertical redundancy check, it only 50% identify. That means only it identifies the errors of odd parity. It doesn't identify the errors of even parity. For that purpose, here in the longitudinal redundancy check, 98% of burst errors will identified in the longitudinal redundancy check. If two bits in one data unit are damaged and two bits in exactly the same position in other data unit are also damaged, the LRC checker will not detect an error. If two bits in one data unit are damaged and two bits in exactly the same position in another data unit are also damaged, the LRC checker, that means the longitude redundancy checker will not detect an error. For example, example you have to be watch this a triple one double zero triple one. These are the example. This one, this one, this one. So LRC. So longitudinal redundancy check. Double one is 0, 1 triple 0 is 1, double 0 is 0, 0 double 1 0 is 0, double 1 double 0 is 0, double 1 0 1 is 1, right? So this is the original data. So along with the original data, all the data that means what we have to discuss here, like parity but counted longitudinally through the message. So all the data bits are added, all the data bits are added and traveled along with the original data in the longitudinal redundancy check. So the two-dimensional parity checking. So the two-dimensional parity check. Upon receipt, each character is checked according to the VRC parity value, and then the entire block of character is verified using the LRC block check character. So each block is verified. Each block, that means each number is verified, and then total is verified. So that is the, so each character is checked according to the VRC parity. Right. Upon receipt, each character is checked according to the VRC parity value, and then entire block of character is verified. So how it verified is so this one. So double one, double zero, triple one. This one, 10, double one, 101. This one, and the third one is this one, and fourth one is over this one. And the added bits 10, 10, 10, 10. Added bit is 10, 10, 10. This one is even odd parity. So adding 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is also odd parity. So adding 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is even parity. So added 0. This one is odd parity. So added 1. This one is 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. So this one is also odd parity. So added 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the added sum. So these are the row particulars. These are the column particulars. So the data and parity bits. This is the original data and these are the parity bits. So what happened here is, in the vertical redundancy check, only odd number of bits are checked. So that is the what happened there in vertical redundancy check or parity check. But here in the longitudinal redundancy check, every number is checked vertically. So every number is checked vertically and the total is also checked. So data and parity bits in this way. One error affects two parities. One error affects two parities. Two errors affects two parities. Three errors affects four parities, and four errors cannot be detected. If one error is there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How error is occurred? So 1 0 triple 1 0 1 1 0 0 triple 1 0 1 double 1 0 1 triple 1 0 1. So yeah, double 1 0 triple 1 0 1. But here 1 0 triple 1 0 1. So error is identified. So error is identified. So here also error identified. So one error affects two parities. One error affects two parities. Two errors affects two parities, and three errors affects four parities. 1, 2, 3, 4. If two errors are there in same line, it affects two parities. So three errors affects four parities, and four errors cannot be detected. And four errors cannot be detected. So another example for two-dimensional parity checkup is this one, 100. I think you guys clearly understand if you watch the material for better understanding of these examples. And the next one is cyclic redundancy check. And the next one is cyclic redundancy check, which also very important one. This cyclic redundancy check or CRC is a technique for detecting errors in digital data, but not for making corrections when errors are detected. So, which is only using for to identify errors in digital data. So, cyclic redundancy check is using to identify errors in the digital data, but not for making corrections when errors are detected, but not using to make making corrections when errors are detected. In the cyclic redundancy method, a certain number of check bits, often called a checksum, are append to the message being transmitted. The receiver can determine whether or not the check bits agree with the data to as a certain with a certain degree of probability whether or not an error occurred in transmission. So the cyclic redundancy check is based on polynomial arithmetic in particular, or computing the remaining of dividing one polynomial. This is the so it can be easily implemented with small amount of hardware, shift register and XOR operations, XOR addition operations. So generator polynomial. So how the polynomial is generated. So cyclic redundancy check. In cyclic redundancy check is a non-secured hash function designed to detect accidental changes to raw computer data. So directly move on to the example. Generator of polynomial. It should have at least two terms. The coefficient of the term is x power 0 should be 1, and it should be divide x power t plus 1. For t bits 2 and n minus 1, it should have the factor of x plus 1. Right? CRC calculator. This one, divisor and CRC. Divisor and reminder is the sender end. This one is the receiver side. Sender side and the receiver side. So encoder, decoders we have to be using in the cyclic redundancy check. So in cyclic redundancy check, let m of x be a message polynomial, let p of x be a generator polynomial, and p of x is fixed for a given cyclic redundancy check scheme. So here the p of x is known both for sender and receiver, and it creates a block polynomial f of x based on m of x and p of x, such that f of x is divisible by p of x. So the f of x is divisible by p of x, that is equals to q of x plus 0 by p of x. This is the polynomial equation. We have to use it for cyclic redundancy check. So this is the sending and this one is the receiving sides equations. So example of cyclic redundancy check. So 111010. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So m of x is equals to x power 5 plus x power 4 plus x. So consider the generating polynomial is x cube plus x square plus 1. That is 1101. 1101. X cube plus x square plus 1. X cube plus x square. X is not here. X is 0. So for that purpose 1. So x naught plus, so from this side to this side, x naught plus x power 1 plus x power 2 plus x power 3 plus x power 4 plus x power 5. So x naught is 0, so no need to write. X power 1 x plus x power 2 is 0, no need to write. X power 3 is 0, so no need to write. X power 4 plus x power 5. Right? This is the how we have to write the polynomial equation. And multiply m of x by x cube and add 3 zeros and divide the result by g of x and the remainder is equals to c of x, and 1101 long division into with subtraction mode of 2. This is the remainder, and transmit with to be precise, transmit is the data. So you go through with material for better understanding the examples. So generator, 4-bit generator. So depending upon the bit position, it identifies. So at sender side and at receiver side, this is the polynomial equation for this x naught. So no need to write. X power 1 x. So x power 2 no need to write. X power 3 plus x power 4 plus no need to write. X power 5 and x power 6 and plus x power 7. So x power 7 plus x power 4 plus x cube plus x. This is the polynomial equation for this. This is the division, and 1110 is the double 100 is the divisor, and this one is the coefficient. For that purpose, this one 1 plus x square plus x cube. X naught, x power 0 is equals to 1. I think you guys all know x power 0, a power 0, p power 0, whatever, we write it as 1. So x power 0, 1 plus no need to write x1. So because here we place it 0, so no need to write x1, and this one is for x square and this one is for x cube. So x cube plus x square plus 1 is the divisor, and this is the coefficient. We have to divide with this. Finally, the remainder is this. So de Morgan. So like at receiver side also, so we can complete the CRC test is passed. So this is another example for CRC check. So message is this 8-bit. So how we have to write? X power 0 is 0, so no need to write 1, and x power 1 is x square, and x power 3 is 0, so no need to write. X power 4 is 0, so no need to write. And x power 5 plus x power 6 plus x power 7 is the m of x, the polynomial equation. The generated polynomial equation is g of x. So m of x is this and g of x is this. So we can divide m of x by g of x. Right? This one is cyclic redundancy check. So cyclic redundancy check performance. And next one is the checksum. Checksum is the fourth error detecting technique. So checksum is the fourth error detecting technique. So now we are completing 3 error detecting techniques. So first one is vertical detecting technique, which identifies the only odd parities. Second one is so this one vertical redundancy check. So for only for odd parity bits. The next one is longitudinal redundancy check LRC, and third one is CRC cyclic redundancy check, and fourth one is checksum. So checksum means we are adding checksum. So identifying the sum is the main role here in the checksum concept. Here in the checksum concept, the last error detection method is called the checksum. Here the checksum is used in the internet by several protocols. So like linear and cyclic codes, the checksum is based on the concept of redundancy. It's also based on the concept of redundancy. For suppose our data is a list of 5, there 4-bit number that we want to send to a destination. In addition to sending these numbers, we send the sum of the numbers. For example, if we want to send number of 7, 11, 12, 06, we send 7, 11, 12, 06 along with the addition. So this is the checksum example. So checksum example. So this is the k is equals to 4, m is equals to 8. So this one is the sum. So 7. So for example, if I have to set the number of 7, 11, 12, 06, we send 7, 11, 12, 06 and 36. 36 is the sum, where 36 is the sum of the original numbers. 36 is the sum of the original numbers. The receiver adds the 5 numbers and compare the result with the sum. So the receiver adds the 5 numbers and compare the result with the sum. If the two are the same, the receiver assumes no error, accept the 5 numbers and discard the sum. Otherwise, there is an error somewhere and the data are not accepted. So for making the job of receiver easier, if we send the negative of the sum called the checksum, for making the receivers work easier, so we are sending a negative number along with the original number. The receiver can add all the numbers received including the checksum. If the result is 0, it assumes no error. So if you have to be sending 36, so if you have to count if you have to add all these numbers, the result is 36. So the sender sends 36, but he sends minus 36 for the better understanding of receiver. Where the receiver again add these numbers, so the result will be 0. There is no error. Otherwise, it will be 0. Why the result is 0? So he produces 36 and he produces minus 36 for that purpose. Details of wrapping and complementing, and the details of wrapping and this is the 6 is the wrapped sum and checksum is 9. This is the wrapped sum. This one is the checksum. So checksum at the sender side and checksum at the receiver side, how it has to be added. And finally, the checksum versus CRC. CRC is more true as opposed to checksum in checking of errors and reporting. So checksum versus cyclic redundancy check. So in cyclic redundancy check, we are using polynomials. So in checksum, we are using the textual addition for the identification of errors. So these are some of the very important techniques for error detection, and we will meet with the next video for error correction techniques. So the error detection techniques are VRC, CRC, checksum, and LRC, longitudinal redundancy check. So in this lecture, we will complete the. So in this video, we completed error detection techniques: vertical redundancy technique, checksum, longitudinal redundancy check, cyclic redundancy check, and checksum. And with the next video, we will meet with the error correction techniques. Okay, thank you very much.